Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing, back again for another slice of social media pie. Very, very excited because I have a fellow LinkedIn rock star with me today, Victoria Ypres. I should have asked you pronunciation of your last name before we jumped on, but did I get it right?
Brenda, it's 4 little letters. It causes so much trouble. It's Ypres, but in its original form, it would have been Ypres, with the emphasis on the pre. So as long as you call me, that's all I care about.
There you go. Well, it is so nice to finally chat with you. And we were kind of chatting in the pre-call here. It was like, I feel like I know your voice because I see your post, but I never actually, I think I heard you in an event for which prompted me to reach out to you. But it's so nice to hear your voice. So first of all, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Staying safe, taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Not going in the stores, all of that stuff. So following the rules, staying healthy.
Sane and staying healthy. That's what it's all about, right?
That's it.
Yeah. And I'm so delighted to chat with you today. So I want to take a moment and welcome anyone who is watching us today, whether you are watching us on Facebook or LinkedIn. We're going live on 2 networks right now, and later on I'm going to put this video out on YouTube. You might be watching a playback later, but I would love it if you could please drop a comment below and let us know where you are watching from. I'm in Metro Detroit. Victoria, are you in, is it Philadelphia? Remember?
Philadelphia.
Okay, great. So for those that are watching, where are you watching from? And I'm actually going to be kind of showing some comments on screen as folks are introducing themselves. We've got Tom from Bowling Green, Ohio. So feel free to drop a comment below. Let me keep that up for a second. Drop a comment below and let us know where in the world you're watching from. And where in the house are you watching from? I mean, we're all home-based right now, right? I'm in my home office. It looks like, are you in your home office, Victoria?
I sure am, yep. And it's a little bit under construction right now, so it might not be as beautiful as it could be, but here I am.
Here we are. And I kind of get like, sometimes I move around. I was at I did an interview last week, and I went outside because I get sick of looking at the same, scene time and time again. But we move around the house. We might be in the living room, in the kitchen, in the backyard, in home office, right? But we're kind of moving around. So I just want to say thank you for anybody who's watching us today. And to kick us off into the discussion, when I invited Victoria to join, I said, I actually saw her on an event. And I said, hey, do you want to come on LinkedIn Live sometime and maybe have a conversation about event marketing? And I said, pick any topic you want. And she said, let's talk about event marketing, your ticket to driving attendance and engagement. So going to be a great chat. So Victoria, before we jump into this conversation, if you could take a moment for folks that haven't heard of you, who are you? What's your business all about? And then we'll start talking about event marketing.
Yeah. So the business is Revamped Resumes. But it's more than resumes, like so many businesses with catchy, fun little names. We work mostly with executives, but right now with the job market being as it is, we're working with all job seekers to help them have a resume that will actually make it through current software, which is known as ATS, to get through to the recruiter. So typically what happens is you submit your resume and you have no idea what happens to it after that.
The black hole, that's what happens to it, right?
Yeah, is it going to a black hole? Where is it? So when you're using ATS in the resume submission process, you can be guaranteed your resume is getting through to the recruiter.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we can't make the recruiter act on it when they receive it, but at least we can guarantee that they're receiving it. Okay. So we are resume writers. We do a lot of the things typically the resume writers do, but we also offer so much more along with this cutting edge technology. That's what sets us apart.
Awesome. And you're based in Philadelphia, correct?
Yep. Philadelphia suburbs, little town called Upper Darby.
Awesome. I'm going to try to pull up your website here on the screen for folks to revampedresumes.com, right?
Revamped.
Revampedresumes.com. Yes, cool. I'll pull that up in the background here as we're getting the conversation started. So are you doing a lot of events? I mean, when I saw you, I think I saw a post about you doing an event, and I think that's what prompted me to reach out and register. So are you doing a lot of events nowadays through your organization?
Yes, the biggest one that we just did was with JobScan. Hosting and JobScan is an ATS provider. Yeah. We had 1,072 people attend that event.
Wow, that's great.
I've never done an event where there's that many people. So I think it's really reflective of current job market conditions, that people are looking for new jobs and looking for ways to stand out in the job market. And so that was awesome.
and JobScan, is that the site where you can like upload the job posting, upload your resume, and then it kind of scans and
Yep.
creates like a side-by-side like comparison? I'm not sure if I'm explaining the right way. Could you explain
what
that?
ATS does and what JobScan's ATS does is typical of lots of ATS providers.
Okay.
It matches your resume content against the job description content, and it scores how well the two match. You need an 80% score, an 80% match score for your resume to pass through the ATS software and make it to the recruiter. Okay. So when people say, well, I've sent out hundreds of resumes and I'm not getting any response, the reason is it's not that there's anything wrong with you. You're not well qualified for the jobs you're applying to. It's that your resume is not scoring high enough in this little match process that ATS does, and therefore it's getting rejected. Wow. So that's a huge waste of your time to keep sending out these resumes that aren't scoring properly.
Yeah.
So again, that's how we help people. But yep, that's what JobScan does.
That's awesome. And I think you can do that. You can do the sample for free. I seem to remember you can like do so many of them a month.
Free scans, and then you have to sign up. But I have a 10% discount link, a link to a code that gives you 10% off the premium subscription for anyone who wants that.
Awesome. Well, I will definitely make sure to share that code in the call notes later on, and I'll put it in the LinkedIn comments later on for folks that are watching the playback. All right, so let's get into our discussion here for today. So we're going to be talking about event marketing, your ticket to driving attendance and engagement. So I guess starting off, we heard a little bit about you're doing some events, and I think I saw you because I think I saw it on a LinkedIn event. So for those people that are watching, you're using LinkedIn events pretty regularly, Victoria?
Yes, I hold a lot of events, webinars, and so forth. We don't do a lot of product promotion or those kinds of hypey events. Mostly they're informational events where people can really learn how to make something work depending on what the topic is. Okay. So yeah, we do a lot of it. And LinkedIn events, this used to be a feature for all LinkedIn users a few years back. You might remember it, Brenda.
Yeah.
And then they took
Yeah, they took it away. It was like,
our event's back.
It's not broke. Why are you removing it? It's working pretty good. And it's like they brought it back, and there's some different things that I don't necessarily, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So for people that are watching, Victoria, I mean, what is LinkedIn events? If they're not familiar with it, what is it? How would you describe it?
So LinkedIn events is a special feature on LinkedIn. Anyone can use it. You don't need to have a premium membership.
Okay.
And the way in, if you want to call it that, the entrance to the tool is found on the homepage. It's in the left side, the far left side. They call that the rail there, but the far left side of the page. It's about 2/3 of the way down. What you're looking for is the word events with a little plus sign next to it. And when you click that plus sign, this box opens up where you can describe your event.
Okay. And so that's it. I mean, so what I heard you just say is it's free. Anybody can use it. It's not limited to premium. It's not like for company pages only. Like you as an individual user could create an event.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. So, I mean, there are lots of different uses for it. You could promote a product. You could promote an event like a webinar. Even an in-person event can be promoted. It doesn't have to be an online event.
Okay.
Gosh, there's so many different ways to use the tool. But I think the important thing is that what the event feature does is it helps you kind of lay out the details of your event.
Gotcha.
Let's say they didn't have the events feature and you had to go to your homepage and talk about the event, right? You'd be going to the homepage. You have to set up a post about it. Make sure you tell people all the information they need. It can be a little messy.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look good.
You might forget. I've seen people like they put all the information, but they don't put the date and time. And I'm like, what is
like
it?
getting an invitation without the date and the time on it.
Yeah. Right.
So the events feature makes it a lot easier to do that.
Okay.
You just follow the screen prompts. It'll tell you what information to add in. It's very intuitive. It's not hard to use at all.
So for folks that are thinking about using an event to set up an event using this module, I mean, there's probably some things they need to do in advance, right? Like kind of the pre-event, list or something, if you will. Are there certain things that we should be thinking about as we're getting started with setting up?
Absolutely. No matter what your reason is for using events, you're doing some kind of marketing. It's a marketing tool.
Yeah. Okay.
And like any marketing, campaign that you're starting, you need to know your audience. Who's your audience? Who are you marketing to? You need to get a little more granular about it than you might in your everyday thoughts. You might say, well, I sell to executive job seekers in the Philadelphia market. Okay, there's something, but who are those executive job seekers? Are they in marketing? Are they in business development? Are they in technology? The more you can break it down when you're creating that event, the better response you'll get to the event, because you're hitting closer and closer to the people who want that specific information.
Okay.
So I think, doing a little research and understanding your audience, and then marketing directly to those people through this events feature, will get you a better response rate and more people attending, which is what we want.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, very
so
good.
That's always a good thing to do.
Okay.
Think about, kind of break it down and think about, who are these people? Is it age? Is it gender? Is it location? Is it job title? Okay. Figure out how you're going to target to them, and then use the feature and all the little spots that it includes to, really speak to the people that you want to have at that event.
So there's not a way in the events where you can say, I want to target this to job title, gender, geography.
No,
you're more helping us to think through speaking to that ideal target audience there. And then I see a comment here from Jeff, and I think Jeff, you know Jeff Young too, don't you?
I sure do. Hi, Jeff.
Yeah. And Jeff is saying, once an event is created, it can be shared by anyone who finds it. I mean, I guess that's one of the struggles I have is how do you find an event? I might be jumping ahead a little bit here, but
we're going to talk a little bit about how to get it found a little more, because once you post that event, it's like sharing a post on the homepage. So when people are on LinkedIn, they're on all different times of that 24-hour cycle in a day, right? Some people are in one time zone, people are in another. So when you post anything on the homepage of LinkedIn, only a certain subset, I guess, of people are going to see it. In order to get a broader appeal or a broader response, you need to post it frequently at different times of the day, so that different groups of people who are on the homepage at that time will see it. And we all know that when you post on that page, it gets dogpiled very quickly. So you have to keep posting, over and over to really get the right response.
Okay. And guys, it looks like we might be experiencing just a teensy tiny audio delay in here. I appreciate it. And we were hoping, I was kind of telling Victoria the call, it's kind of like a catch-up bottle. We got to kind of hit the back end of it to try to get it going. And I'm not sure if it's my Wi-Fi or hers. Hopefully you're still able to watch, even if it's a little hiccup, stay with us. Sometimes the internet works out the little kink in the middle, but we're just going to keep going with these things, right?
Keep on going. The information is still good. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so you're talking about, identifying your target audience. Now, what do we do next?
Right. So one thing you can't do with LinkedIn events is you can't sell tickets through it, whether they're free tickets or paid tickets. You can't sell. So you need to hook up with another site like Eventbrite, or Ticket Leap is another one. Not a huge fan of Eventbrite for lots of reasons. So Ticket Leap, but there's a bunch of those out there. They all work.
Ticket Leap, is it LEAP?
LEAP. Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna put the link in the comments here, if you don't mind, while you're continuing to talk here.
Sure. So you have to marry the LinkedIn events, not the page, but the sharing of the LinkedIn event that you're putting up, by including the link to where to get tickets. Otherwise, people will see the event you're posting, and the next question will be, where do I go next? Where do I get tickets? So you're better off explaining that right up front. In the format of the
like where to send them, because they want to know, and simply saying I'm going to RSVP on the LinkedIn event is not the same as clicking to RSVP on the Ticket Leap or Eventbrite, because then you're in the system, you get email notification, and that's part of the confusing part.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
If you don't set it up right from the beginning, you're going to have a real mess on your hands, especially if you have 1,000 people attending your webinar.
Because then they're going to get like 5 minutes before the hour, you get all these emails and messages. How do I join? Right?
Exactly. And people don't always read as well. So it wouldn't hurt, once you share the event, to post your own comment under that. Here's the link to get the tickets. Because if they don't read it as they're scanning through the event itself, then they'll see underneath there that there's the link. So you got it in there twice, which is helpful.
Yeah, repetitive. Okay.
So once you have that, you have the event posted, you've shared it, you have your Eventbrite or Ticket Leap up, and you're selling tickets. You might, if it's going to be a really big event, you might want to think about using some kind of event management software. Social Tables, if you want to put that link up, is one of the ones that is common. Yep, Social Tables, TABLES.
Okay, I'm going to pull that in.
It's a good one for event management software, and I'm sure there are a bunch of other ones.
Okay.
But sometimes, when you're having an event with a lot of attendees and they're all kind of having conversations with each other and asking questions, you need a way to manage that other than or beyond the little blurb that you've posted already about the event. So it helps you track the conversation and track activity among the attendees.
Okay, cool.
And then you need a platform to hold the event. So many people are using Zoom now.
Yeah.
Some people use Skype.
Yeah.
GoToMeeting is my preferred platform, but many of them use whatever you like. You'll have to get, if you don't have an account with one of those, you have to get that account set up before you share your event, because you're going to need to share the link to the event. And you won't know what that is until you have the event scheduled in a conference software platform.
Yeah. So it's almost like you got to almost kind of map this out, it sounds like.
Yes.
And you got to
start any marketing campaign, Brenda, you got to map it out, right?
With the end in mind, who am I going to reach, and then where am I sending them, and what are all the pieces of the puzzle I need to build in there, right? It's kind of,
I know.
It's good you're helping us think through this so we don't make mistakes along the way.
And the other thing you might want to do ahead of time is create a hashtag for the event.
Okay.
Something very specific. And that can be included in the event announcement. It can be included in communications you send to attendees through the ticketing site that you're using. So you can really generate some buzz on social media by having a hashtag just about that event. That works pretty well too.
Let me ask you a question, because this is probably asked of you, and I get asked this question a lot. What is a hashtag? And then how do I create it? And follow up to that is, how do I create a hashtag for my event? Is there a trademarking process? Do I need to register it? Can I claim it? So can you help us understand what is a hashtag, and then how do I create one for my event?
So a hashtag is just a way to categorize information. If you put up hashtag yellow cars, right? Everyone who wants to talk about yellow cars will use that hashtag to see all of the comments that have been talked about on Twitter or even on LinkedIn these days about yellow cars, right? So it's just a way to organize information. You can create a hashtag with any words or combination of words that you want. But what you have to do first is go to Twitter, research whether that hashtag is available, and then you can use it.
So and it's important, especially acronyms, right? I'm going to use this as an example, you guys. My initials are BLM. Okay. Now, if I use hashtag BLM, to me, I might say, well, that means Brenda Lee Meller, right? What else is using the hashtags BLM that it's a very, and Black Lives Matter, right? It's being used in another way. So you want to think about, I think, those acronyms. And by looking them up, I love your example, looking it up on Twitter, who else is using it? I've even had clients, they look up a hashtag and it meant something, and it was a negative thing that it meant. And they're
like, that's happened. Yeah. So that's super important, what you're talking about, to find out if the hashtag is already being used. Now, no one really owns a hashtag. Right. You can't say, well, I'm going to use hashtag yellow cars and nobody else can use it. No, it doesn't work that way. It's about generating conversation and tracking that conversation. So if other people who haven't used your hashtag want to talk about yellow cars, they might create a hashtag that's a subset of your hashtag. It gets a little complicated. I don't want to go into that now. Yeah. But the best thing to do is go to Twitter, go in the search bar of Twitter, type in your hashtag, and see if it comes up with other conversations already using that hashtag. If not, it's an original, and you can use that for your event.
Could they also look up in LinkedIn, though? There might be some people watching that say, I'm not on Twitter, I don't want to use Twitter at all. Could they just look it up on LinkedIn?
They could. You can go to the content section. So you go to the search bar on LinkedIn. Do you want to show this?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up on screen. Actually, it's going to do like a little video thing.
Yeah. Okay. And you type in your hashtag, whatever you want to say.
Let's say yellow cars, right? We're gonna go with this. There's probably nothing being used. Look, somebody is using it. There's a follower of it. Oh no, they're already using it yet.
For us, we're too slow.
But let's do hashtag LinkedIn. Just in this example.
Now click on content though before you go. Yep, click content. And now we're going to find everyone who's using hashtag LinkedIn. So you'll see you can sort by relevance and so forth. And go all the way through. Yeah, now you might say, I want to use LinkedIn events. Okay. I don't know if you can. They might have banned that one, but you can try it. Let's see.
I think so. Do they like trademark it or take it out? Or
very particular, yes.
Really? Okay. Interesting. So it looks like hashtag LinkedIn events. Other people are using it.
Yes.
So have you seen
So
that before
that's
where a
why,
hashtag is not available or it's not clickable?
yes, it happens.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, definitely happens.
So I use one, Victoria, and tell me what you think about this. I use Social Media Pie.
That's fine.
It's kind of becoming part of
love
my
it.
brand, my series. I use it for the interview that we're in today. I'm
Yeah, I
creating
like it a lot.
a book called Social Media Pie. And then I have I've reserved the web domain socialmediapie.com, which redirects to Meller Marketing. And then anytime I do a webinar, I say use hashtag social media pie
Right.
to find me, right? Is that fair to say, or do you want to see an event hashtag specific to the event? Okay.
No, that's the way to do it. We use no more bad resumes.
Oh, I like it.
We have 4 hashtags, and that's one of them.
No,
So,
and I'm doing all caps, but it's just lower.
No more bad resumes.
And it can be, what do they call it? Camel case, no more bad resumes. I think I've heard, was it John Asperian or Jeff Young use this term, camel case, meaning the first letter of each of the major words is capitalized because it makes it a little bit easier to read.
I have not heard that. Thanks, Jeff, for that tip. I don't know.
I don't know who it was, but yeah, see, so you're using
things I posted using that hashtag.
Love it.
Job search better is another one. Land great interviews is another one. So yeah,
that's good. It's very clever. Good branding that's in there. Awesome.
But before I became what I am today, I was a copywriter. So I have all this great copywriting expertise, which has been invaluable in becoming a marketer the way I am. So
okay, good to know. Yeah, so Tina Marie is saying hashtag social media pie. Hi, I got you that time, Tina Marie. She's trying to stump me on hashtags last time. And we're going to talk a little bit about, and Jeff is just saying nobody can own a hashtag.
Exactly, Jeff. That's what I was saying. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's suggesting for them as well to look hashtags in there.
Yep.
So, yeah, don't forget hashtag LinkedIn Rockstars. Sorry, Victoria, we're going to.
That's okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead.
The thing, though, is one of the advanced things you can do. We don't have a ton of time today to go into it in great depth, but you can, if you really want to get, a broader sense of attention on your event, you might want to work with people who are considered influencers. These are people who have influence through a blog or through some other. There's all kinds of things that they could do to become an influencer, but you can research influencers in your own, whatever your theme is for your event, through a tool like BuzzSumo or Mention. Those are 2 tools that you can use to research influencers in your area or your area of expertise. And then you can reach out to them. Yeah, BuzzSumo, BuzzSumo. Or
Mention was the other one, right? I'm just going to put those in. I'll let you guys look up, but I want to put this in for my own. I'm going to look back at this later and go, what was that she mentioned again? And I have it on screen.
Right. I know that always happens.
Okay.
So the thing is, influencers are always being bombarded by people asking for their help to generate buzz, help them generate buzz. So you have to approach it in a, whatever the correct influencer etiquette is, you have to approach them nicely. Tell them who you are, what it is you're trying to generate buzz for, why have you contacted them in particular, and what you would like them to do for you, whether it's mention it on their blog or mention it in some other marketing area that they're working on. So don't expect that they're going to help you. Usually they're super busy because everyone's asking them for help, but it doesn't hurt to ask either. So that's another thing that people can do. And also don't forget to promote your speakers.
Yeah.
Right. You're part of an event. Maybe there's 4 or 5 speakers. All your speakers and all should be promoting it to all of their networks, which are all unique to them.
Yeah. Do you help your speakers out when you're doing events too, by kind of like serving it on a silver platter for them and saying, here's the link, or here's what I want you to share, or here's the hash. I mean, do you do those things or?
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Here's the link. We make a little, a little image with their picture in it, and all like you did with yours.
Yeah.
It's very helpful, and it makes it look so much more professional too.
Yeah, create some branding around it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then after all that, right, if you aren't exhausted yet after all that, then you need to start posting more about your event. Okay. So I like to tell people they should go 30 days out. If they're picking a date for the event, give yourself 30 days. It takes a while to really build buzz, right? Okay. So if you tell people today that you're having an event next Monday, it's not going to go well. There's not enough time for people to continually see that you're like the branding message for it. I think it's 6 or 7 times somebody has to see it before they make a decision. It's kind of an advertising rule.
Yeah.
So give yourself plenty of time to promote, because when you make it too short, you're just not going to get a good
You
number.
get some people, but the people who are available at short notice, and it
Right.
may not be the right audience, going back to your earlier point of target audience.
Right.
And then I even think about, Victoria, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like, I think about my own planning cycle in my head. Like today is it June 26th already? I don't know how that, it's like going to be July next week.
I
I
know.
have no idea how that, but now
Crazy.
I'm starting.
I don't know where it went.
If 2 weeks ago you had said, hey, I have an event at the end of July, I would have been like, but that's 6 months from now. It's like forever, and
I
as we
know.
get closer, it's
time
like
flies for sure.
Yeah.
Whoever said time flies, Benjamin Franklin probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very smart.
Yeah.
So
but it does.
if you keep just posting the event link from the little box where you created your event, if you keep posting that over and over, people are going to get sick of seeing it. They're not going to respond. They're going to be like, oh my goodness, she just keeps posting this thing 10 times a day. That's not how to do it.
Right.
Again, as with any marketing campaign, you need a mix of ways to post.
Okay.
So you post the event. Maybe you share it at regular intervals on your homepage. Okay. Maybe if you belong to some groups, although groups are a little bit dead right now, post it in groups. Maybe you create a list of 25 or 50 people who you feel are most important to your own network, and you send individualized messages to them, letting them know about the event or asking them to post the information for their own networks. Okay. So there's a bunch of ideas. Those are just a few. LinkedIn offers sponsored InMail, which costs money, but depends on what your budget is for the event. You can always, pay to advertise the event. Most people don't want to pay, but so mix up the way that you're sharing this event with people. So you're not looking like you're just clicking a button 10 times a day and sending out the same thing over and over.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a tree falls in a forest. If there's no one there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. It's kind of like the same thing with your event. And you might be like, well, I created an event page. Why aren't they registering?
Like if you build it, they will come. No, that does not happen. You can build it, nobody will come. I've been there. So you don't want to do it that way at all. You got to really work at this. And if, honestly, depending on your budget again, but if you need to hire a marketer to help you market it, if this is a really important event for you, it's worth every penny if they know what they're doing. Yeah. Because you will get great attendance.
And there's a lot of freelancers. I mean, you can certainly work through an agency depending on the size of your organization, the size of your event. But I even know somebody locally in my market here in Metro Detroit, Maggie Walsh. I'm going to give her a shout out and a little tag in the post later. But this is part of what she does through her business, Firefly Communications, is she will help people plan events and market events. So there's a lot of great freelancers out there.
Oh, many wonderful ones.
We do this virtually now, right? Because we're not meeting we're not coming and setting up the tables and putting the centerpieces out anymore.
Exactly. That is so true. Yeah, everything's virtual. I don't know when we'll ever do a face-to-face networking event again. I guess time will tell.
Time will tell. We'll get back there. But for now, we're in the times of COVID and staying home, staying safe. But we can reach people. The good thing is your events now, Victoria, have reach not just locally, but nationally, probably internationally. You're probably getting
internationally. On that last call we talked about with JobScan, we had people from all over the world. It was I was just flabbergasted by that. They were from everywhere, from all different time zones. Maybe some were listening in the middle of the night for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're really clicked.
Yeah. And they're looking for help.
I'm not complaining. That was great.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, it's reaching people in different ways. And
And another trick, a couple of tricks too, people might want to use, like using scarcity as a common marketing or advertising tool. If you're signing up for something to be an attendee of something, you'll notice they use scarcity, which is, this price is only good for 5 days, or this offer is limited. It stops at noon on Friday. Those things make people feel pushed psychologically.
Seating is limited. That's another one. Even in virtual events, I don't know about you, but I have a Zoom subscription that only allows 100 people to be in. I might only be expecting 10 people to register, but I will still use in my marketing message, seating is limited, because that is a true and factual statement, you guys. Seating is limited. I might only get 50 people, but if I get 101 people, I can't admit that last person.
That's right. So the last event I did was actually a spinoff from that larger event. And we had to give some people free tickets. It cost $15.99 because it was a real training event. But some people needed free tickets because they weren't able to get into the training class I had held the week before.
Okay.
Unfortunately, people who should have been paying got the free tickets, so that the people who should have gotten the free tickets didn't have any free tickets.
That's unfortunate.
What a mess. So I think the reason I'm being so emphatic about all these steps for getting your event up and running is because there can be situations that you haven't even thought of yet that could occur. So the more planning, what's that saying? Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Measure twice, yeah. So the more planning you do ahead of time and the more thinking through of all the scenarios that could happen, the less headache you're going to have on the other side.
That's really important. It sounds like you're sharing a lot of the things that you've encountered. And I like to say they're not mistakes. They are learning experiences. You have had
learning experiences.
We've
had to spend a night not sleeping because of what happened. And the next day you realize it was a learning experience. And it won't happen again.
Yeah. When you're in the middle of it, you sometimes can't see that. But then when you get out of it, you're like, okay, what did I learn from this that I will use to improve the event experience moving forward, right?
The more embarrassing the mistake, the more it's a learning experience.
That's going to be like the quote on this one when I start.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So once you've done it a few times, it becomes second nature. But
and you've been doing a lot of these too, which is really helpful. So if it's okay, Victoria, should we move into Q&A now and see if
let's do it.
So I want to remind you guys, you'll see my little kind of ticker that's running along the bottom here. Please comment below to ask Victoria a question. If you have questions about, event marketing, about LinkedIn events, about anything she's talked about so far, any of the resources that she's talked about. We've got her on the line right now, and she's captive. So let's ask her some questions.
I'm here.
You're here. So I'm going to pull up in here. It looks like Jeff is saying it was John experienced tip on the camel case. Isn't Jeff nice?
Yeah.
Jeff, you can take credit for it. John's not on right now, but Jeff won't. We'll give a shout out to John on there. So question, Victoria, is there a limit to the number of people you can invite to an event? And I'm assuming the question is related to the LinkedIn event. Victoria, do you know?
There is no limit because you're using LinkedIn events feature to promote the event, but you're using your own conferencing platform to hold the event and sell tickets to the event. So if your Zoom platform, for example, limits you to 100, like you just said, you can only have 100 attendees or sell 100 tickets.
Right.
But it's not LinkedIn events that determines how many people can join.
Because it's really just it's a web page you're creating in LinkedIn.
Yes.
That's an event module. So there's
a post, really. It's like a homepage post once it shows up.
So here's a question that came in earlier from Cynthia. Cynthia says, how do you find the events? So if you create a LinkedIn event, is there a directory to search for, or how do you find those? There's not.
No, I mean, you can do the little trick we showed earlier, going to the search bar and putting in either the name of the event, if you know it, or keywords related to that event, and hopefully you'll find it. If not, you might have to know the person who's holding the event, so you can go to their profile and see the post.
Okay. And unfortunately, I think there's some limitations here, and there's some things. Maybe LinkedIn will improve it in the future. Maybe we'll add in. Maybe somebody from LinkedIn's watching. They're going, "Oh, they're talking about this." And
yes, I hope that they will make improvements to it. It's still a little bit bare bones the way it is.
So since I'm on LinkedIn, I'm going to navigate down, Victoria, and you said it's on the left rail.
Yep.
And
keep going. There it is. Yep.
Events. So everybody has this. Button. Yeah.
It opens up. Oh, we didn't talk about an image. You need to select an image for your event.
Okay.
Because there's that banner up at the top that needs an image. So I don't know, Brenda, what you use for stock images. I use 123rf.com. It stands for 123 royalty free.
Oh, okay.
So 123rf.com. And the images cost like $1.50 a piece. They're very, very affordable.
So I use free stock photography. There's 3 sites that I use. Pexels.com. I'm going to put these in the comments right now. Pexels.com is free. I'm going to do 123rf.com first of all. I'm going to put all of these in there for folks to look at. I use Pexels. Pexels.com. Unsplash.com is another one.
That's a good one.
And then Pixabay.com.
Right.
And those, the ones I'm giving you guys are all free. And you'll probably, I mean, you get what you pay for, right? Because I've noticed sometimes when I look at some of these sites, I'm going to put them up on screen right now. Pexels.com, I see some images that a lot of people are using because they are commercially available. I mean, I'm assuming
cliche. Yeah,
they get cliche. So 1, 2, 3 are off. Since you're paying, $1.50, you're probably not going to have as much overlap. I would assume with that, right?
But you have zillions of pictures of images to look through. Practically anything. We also use Shutterstock sometimes. They're a little bit more expensive, but they have some images that are less common.
Okay.
And you can use Canva too.
Yeah.
You can create an actual banner for the top of the ad using Canva and images that are free from Canva.
Yeah, great point. So for those watching that aren't familiar, canva.com, I describe it, Victoria, as it's kind of like graphic design for dummies. Like, I'm not a Photoshop illustrator. I'm like a marketing person.
Right.
And I don't want to learn Illustrator. I mean, you guys that are graphic designers, I admire you so much. You're so talented.
Yes,
but this is kind of like, and you can, in the dimensions, it'll say, like in the banner at the top on your profile, 1584 by 396. So you can go in Canva and say, create an image, 1584 by 396.
Right.
And with LinkedIn events, I figured out the exact dimensions. I can't remember it offhand, but it's like a little bit narrower and wider, I think, than the regular.
Yeah, when you're choosing an image, you have to choose something that when it's put into the banner space, it won't look skewed. So you need a long, like sort of a long rectangle. What's the word? Rectangle.
I think that was rectangle.
A rectangle image.
We're gonna go with that.
I'm the word girl, right?
Yeah. So can we? I want to try to find. Do you have any?
Basically.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Something that looks okay when it's squashed into that space.
Gotcha. Yeah. Could we look at events? Do you have any events that you have shared recently on your profile or in your activity feed as an example?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to share your screen.
I'm just thinking, if you go to my profile page.
Go to your profile page?
Yeah, go to my profile and then scroll down to the activity section.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'll do that one right there that said featured.
In the featured section?
Up a little bit.
This one? The 25?
I'm pretty sure we used events to, yeah. Of course, I don't know how to get back to it to show what we did, though.
Did you put a post out when you published that event?
Yes, definitely.
So I could probably go through.
Back because I post constantly.
Was it a while back? Yeah. Unfortunately, in here. And are you doing any events on your?
Scroll back up. I just saw one.
Did you? Okay.
Where the girl is holding her head right there.
This one right here.
That's the masterclass we've been holding for 5 weeks.
But is
the actual? Oh, that would go to Eventbrite, but that is the actual event post. That's what it looked like.
This is from LinkedIn Events?
From Events Feature, yep.
Really?
Yep, looks just like that. Now, somebody commented on it, but where it started with ATS Masterclass at 3 p.m. today, that was the final announcement that day for the class. We only had 2 seats left, and that's exactly what it would look like.
Okay.
Yep.
It's confusing, though, I know, and it's not perfect by any means, but I'm trying to find, because I thought like the event, when you share it out, it has like a banner as a part of it. I'm going to click back to my page for just a second. So I'm going to look under my events. So here's like, I see under my events after I've RSVP'd to past events. And this is one that Carrie Lazat in my network. So you can see it's built out. This is a past event.
Yes.
So if you indicate
see other people who are attending, if you want to talk with them.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. Yeah.
Kind of see the fellow attendees in there. So kind of a neat feature in there. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Any other questions for Victoria before we wrap here today, guys? Just scrolling back through the comment list in here. Cynthia says, thank you. You're welcome, Cynthia. Thank you for watching today.
Sure thing, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Feel free to connect if you like.
Yeah. And on that note, too, we're going to kind of start to wrap up the conversation for us today. And I want to pull up your LinkedIn URL up on screen right now, Victoria, and then I'm going to pull it up in the background. I hope you don't mind.
Great. Not at all.
And are you open to connecting with anyone that is watching the session here today?
Absolutely. Anyone who watches or anyone who, yes, I'm open to connecting with anyone who's interested in event marketing or any other aspect of LinkedIn or job seekers who are looking for help with their resumes.
Awesome. And do you, in kind of wrapping us up, do you have anything else you'd like to share? Final tips? Do you have any upcoming events you'd like us to check out? where can we learn about, do you have an email list where we can get on your list for upcoming events for job seekers? Or
Sure. I think the biggest thing I want to announce, it's not quite ready to go live yet, but it should be this week, is a toolkit that we put together with lots of different resources for job seekers who are kind of struggling in their job search right now. So just if you follow me through my profile, either connect with me or follow me, you'll see my announcements about that as soon as it's ready, and you can take advantage of it. I think it's $37.99 for the package, which is extremely affordable.
Yeah.
Well, millions of people are unemployed.
Yeah.
And it would be foolish to try to price something so high that most people can't afford it. That's like complete opposite of our mission anyway. So we want to make it affordable for everyone.
Awesome. So if you guys do visit Victoria's profile on LinkedIn, if you invite her to connect, again, there's the LinkedIn URL below. Mention that you saw her on the broadcast today. I'm a big believer in kind of including that personal note with invitations. If there's something that was helpful for you, or if you want to be notified of her future events, when you connect with or when you follow her, you'll be able to see the notifications coming out then there. And if you're interested in learning more about that package that she mentioned for the job seekers, definitely ask her that question as well.
Yes.
So Victoria, thank you so much. This was a delight chatting with you today.
Thank you, Brenda. I really appreciate being invited. It was great. We'll have to do it again sometime on a different topic.
Definitely. And if you have upcoming events too, Victoria, feel free to tag me and I'll share them out with my network too, or invite me to them. And this is a technique I've seen people do too. Even if you're not planning to attend, if it's somebody in your network that you support, indicate that, you're RSVP, because it helps. Doesn't that broadcast that out to your homepage feed when you do that? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a little added visibility.
On LinkedIn, everything is interconnected.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, it was so nice chatting and just hearing your voice and having a conversation with a rock star.
Thank you. Okay, so bye everybody, and I hope to see you connecting with me on my profile or following me. That would be great as well.
Yeah, awesome. And as we wrap up, thank you. And I'm going to remind you guys, if you're watching this in playback, you can still leave a comment below. If you have questions for Victoria, still leave those in, because I'm going to share the link with her later on today. And if you're watching it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or on YouTube, give it a comment, a question if you have any, and I'll make sure to share the links with her. And then also, just a reminder before you leave here, go to mellermarketing.com/subscribe to join my VIP email list, where you'll get advanced notification about upcoming LinkedIn live interviews I'll be doing, as well as some of my upcoming events. And I send out a LinkedIn strategy tip about once a week as well. So definitely check it out. All right, guys. Thank you again, Victoria. Stay safe and stay healthy in Philadelphia. There, we'll see you in line in the future. And everybody else, stay great and have a great weekend. It's Friday, TGIF.
You too. It's going to be hot, so it should be fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, take care and have a good weekend, and we'll see you around. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.